They said he was untouchable. They said he was the future. They said Logan Paul was revolutionizing professional wrestling. They were wrong. What you're about to witness isn't just a beatdown. It isn't just another wrestling segment. What you're about to witness is the complete and utter annihilation of everything Logan Paul thought he was. This is the story of how the biggest names in WWE, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and the Usos came together for one purpose: to send a message, to deliver justice, to absolutely destroy the man who thought he could waltz into their world and disrespect their legacy. And let me tell you something right now, this wasn't just physical destruction. This was psychological warfare. This was a calculated execution. This was four of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling deciding that enough was enough. You think you've seen Logan Paul humbled before? You haven't seen anything yet. #hashtag the rise of the villain nobody asked for. Let's rewind for a second. Let's talk about how we got here. Because to understand the magnitude of what happened to Logan Paul, you need to understand exactly what he did to deserve this level of wrath. Logan Paul didn't earn his way into WWE. Let's be brutally honest about that. He didn't pay his dues in bingo halls. He didn't wrestle in front of 17 people in a high school gym. He didn't drive 12 hours between shows sleeping in his car eating gas station hot dogs wondering if he'd ever make it. No. Logan Paul got a golden ticket because of his YouTube fame, his social media clout, his millions of followers who probably couldn't name 5 wrestling moves if their lives depended on it. And you know what? Fine. Business is business. WWE wanted mainstream attention. Logan brought eyeballs. We get it. But here's where Logan Paul crossed the line. Here's where the YouTuber turned from annoying outsider to public enemy number one. He started believing his own hype. He started acting like he built this business. Like he was doing WWE a favor. Like Roman Reigns should be thanking him. Like Cody Rhodes was just another stepping stone. Like CM Punk was some relic from the past. Like the Usos were nothing more than background extras in his story. The disrespect was palpable. The arrogance was suffocating. And week after week, Logan Paul's ego inflated bigger and bigger until it was so bloated, so massive, that it became inevitable someone was going to pop it. Violently. Logan started cutting promos talking about how he was saving wrestling. Saving it? From what, Logan? From the men who've dedicated their entire lives to this art form? From the superstars who've broken their bodies night after night to give fans memories that last forever? He called Roman Reigns overrated. He told Cody Rhodes he'd never escape his father's shadow. He mocked CM Punk's injuries and called him washed up. He disrespected the Usos' legacy and called their tag team championships meaningless compared to his influence. Every single week, more disrespect, more arrogance, more proof that Logan Paul had absolutely no idea who he was messing with. And then, it happened. #hashtag the final straw that broke everything. There's always a breaking point. Always that one moment where patience runs out. Where respect dies. Where warriors decide that words are no longer enough. For Logan Paul, that moment came 3 weeks ago. Roman Reigns was in the ring. The tribal chief. The head of the table. The man who has dominated WWE for over 1,000 days. A man who has conquered legends, destroyed dreams, and cemented himself as the most dominant force in professional wrestling history. Logan Paul's music hit. Nobody called for him. Nobody wanted him out there. But out he came anyway, that smug grin plastered across his face, microphone in hand, ready to do what he does best: run his mouth. And what did Logan say? What words came out of his mouth that sealed his fate? Roman, you've had a great run. You really have. But let's be honest, you've been hiding behind the bloodline. You've been holding that title because nobody with real star power has challenged you. Well, that changes now. Because I'm not just some wrestler. I'm a superstar. I'm box office. I'm everything you wish you could be outside this ring. And when I take that title from you, the world will finally realize, I'm not just better than you at wrestling, I'm better than you at everything. The arena went silent. Paul Heyman's face drained of all color. The Usos looked at each other in complete disbelief. And Roman? Roman Reigns just stared. That cold, calculated stare that has preceded some of the most vicious beatdowns in WWE history. But before Roman could respond, Cody Rhodes' music erupted through the speakers. The American Nightmare walked out onto that stage, and you could feel the temperature in the building drop 10 degrees. Cody grabbed a microphone, his jaw clenched, his eyes locked on Logan Paul. Logan, you want to talk about legacy? You want to talk about what it means to be a superstar? My father built this business. My family's blood is in the foundation of professional wrestling. And you're a tourist. A tourist who's about to learn a very painful lesson about respect. Before Cody could even finish, CM Punk's entrance music shattered the tension. The place erupted. CM Punk walked out with that signature intensity, that fire in his eyes that has made him one of the most dangerous men to ever step foot in a WWE ring. He didn't even wait to get to the ring. He raised the microphone right there on the ramp. "I've been watching you, Logan. I've been watching you disrespect this business that I love. This business that damn near killed me. This business that saved my life. And I've been waiting for the right moment to shut your mouth permanently. Guess what? That moment is now." Three of the most legendary names in WWE. Three men with completely different styles, completely different histories, but united by one thing: absolute disgust for Logan Paul. And then, the Usos appeared at the top of the ramp behind CM Punk. Uso grabbed a microphone, and his voice carried that street-level intensity that the bloodline is known for. Logan, you've been running your mouth about my family, about my tribal chief, about my legacy. You think because you got some followers and made some videos that you can come into our house and disrespect our family? Nah, that ain't how this works. Jimmy Uso stepped forward, and the brotherhood was evident. You wanted attention, Logan? You got it. But now you gotta deal with the consequences. And trust me, you ain't ready for this. Logan Paul stood in that ring, surrounded. Four of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling on all sides. The crowd was losing their minds. The energy was electric. This wasn't just a confrontation anymore. This was an execution waiting to happen. Quick question for you right now: be honest, did Logan Paul bring this on himself, or did WWE's legends take it too far? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to know where you stand. Hashtag the hunt begins. What happened next wasn't just wrestling, it was a hunt. Logan Paul, for all his bravado, isn't stupid. He saw four killers surrounding him and he did the only smart thing he could do: he ran. He slid out of the ring and bolted up the ramp like his life depended on it. And honestly, it might have. But here's the thing about Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and the Usos: they're not the kind of men who let their prey escape. They're predators. And Logan Paul just became the most wanted man in WWE. The following week on SmackDown, Logan thought he was safe. He was backstage, filming content with his crew, probably planning his next Instagram post or TikTok video, completely oblivious to the storm that was coming. The lights went out. When they came back on, the Usos were standing right behind Logan's film crew. You could see the panic in Logan's eyes. He grabbed his phone, backed away, trying to laugh it off like it was all just mind games. Uso stepped forward. "You thought we forgot about you? You thought this was over?" Logan stammered something about, "Hey guys, let's just talk about this," but Jimmy Uso cut him off. "Ain't nothing to talk about no more, And then they charged. Logan's crew scattered like roaches when the lights turn on. Logan himself took off running through the backstage area, the Usos in hot pursuit. Cameras were flying, people were diving out of the way, chaos was erupting. Logan burst through a door into the parking lot, thinking he'd escape into his luxury car and speed away. But guess who was waiting by his car? CM Punk. Leaning against the driver's side door, arms crossed, that sadistic smile on his face. "Going somewhere, Logan." Logan's face went white. He turned around to run back inside, but the Usos had caught up, blocking his path. He looked left, nothing but concrete wall. He looked right and there stood Cody Rhodes, steel chair in hand. "You wanted to be a superstar, Logan? Welcome to the main event." They circled him like wolves. Logan was trapped, cornered, and you could see the fear in his eyes because for the first time in his privileged life, his money couldn't save him. His followers couldn't save him. His lawyers couldn't save him. He was about to face something real. But then, security flooded the parking lot. WWE officials separated everyone. Adam Pearce, the SmackDown general manager, stood between them, breathing hard, sweating, desperately trying to maintain order. "Enough. Enough. This ends now. Logan, you're banned from the building until next week's SmackDown. And Roman, Cody, Punk, Usos, if any of you touch Logan before next week, you're all suspended indefinitely." The superstars backed off. But the message was clear. This wasn't over. Not even close. Next week, there would be no more running, no more escaping. Next week, Logan Paul would have to face the music. Hashtag the setup that felt like a trap. 7 days of psychological torture. That's what Logan Paul endured. Social media was on fire. Fans were creating memes of Logan running. Roman Reigns posted a photo on Instagram with the caption, "Acknowledge the consequences." Cody Rhodes tweeted, "Some nightmares you can't wake up from." CM Punk did an interview where he simply said, "Logan, I hope you've made peace with whatever you believe in." The Usos? They posted a video standing in front of Logan's car in the parking lot, keys dangling in G's hand. "We found something you left behind, Don't worry. We'll give it back. Eventually." The mind games were brutal. But then WWE made the announcement that would change everything. Adam Pearce declared that next week's SmackDown would feature a main event: Logan Paul vs. Roman Reigns. 1-on-1. For the Universal Championship. Wait, what? Logan Paul was getting a title shot? After everything he'd done? After all the disrespect? The internet exploded. Fans were furious. This felt wrong. This felt like WWE was rewarding Logan's behavior. This felt like a slap in the face to everyone who had earned their opportunities. But then Roman Reigns gave an interview that made everything clear. Adam Pearce asked me if I wanted to face Logan Paul. I said absolutely. Not because he deserves it, but because I want to hurt him. I want to make an example out of him. I want the world to watch as I destroy everything he thinks he is. This isn't about a championship match. This is about punishment. And trust me, Logan Paul is going to suffer. Suddenly, it all made sense. This wasn't an opportunity for Logan. This was a public execution. Here's my question for you: if you were Logan Paul, would you show up to that match, or would you quit WWE and never look back? Comment below because I'm genuinely curious what you'd do in that situation. #hashtag the night everything exploded SmackDown. The night everyone had been waiting for. The arena was packed. The energy was different. You could feel it. This wasn't just another show. This was history about to be written. Logan Paul's entrance was met with the loudest chorus of boos you've ever heard. He walked to that ring trying to maintain his confidence, but you could see the cracks, the nervousness, the realization that he was walking into a nightmare. Roman Reigns' entrance was earth-shattering. The tribal chief walked out with Paul Heyman by his side, and the aura of dominance was suffocating. This wasn't just a wrestler. This was a conqueror about to add another victim to his legacy. The bell rang. For the first 3 minutes, Logan actually held his own. Credit where it's due, the man is athletic. He hit a few impressive moves. He dodged a Superman punch. He even managed to hit a springboard crossbody that got a 2 count. But then Roman caught him mid-air on a second attempt, hoisted him up, and powerbombed him through the announce table. The crowd went insane. Roman dragged Logan back into the ring. Superman punch. Boom. Logan crumpled. Roman set up for the spear. The crowd was on their feet. This was it. The end. But then Logan rolled out of the ring, desperately trying to escape. He grabbed his ribs, limping up the ramp. He was done. He was forfeit. He was quitting. Roman followed him. Slowly. Methodically. Like a predator that knows its prey has nowhere to go. But then something happened that nobody saw coming. Cody Rhodes' music hit. The American Nightmare walked out onto that stage, blocking Logan's escape route. Logan turned around, Roman Reigns behind him. He looked for another exit. CM Punk emerged from the crowd, sliding into the ring. And then the Usos appeared from the backstage area, cutting off any possible escape. Logan Paul was surrounded. In the ring, on the ramp, everywhere. The referee was calling for the bell, trying to restore order, but nobody was listening. This had gone beyond a match. This had become something primal. Roman grabbed Logan and dragged him back to the ring. He threw him inside. Cody followed. Then Punk. Then the Usos. All 5 men. 1 ring. 1 target. Who do you think should have gotten the first shot at Logan Paul? Roman? Cody? Punk? The Usos? ***, let me know in the comments. #hashtag the most brutal beatdown in WWE history. What happened next was savage. Roman Reigns hit the spear. Devastating. But he didn't go for the pin. He picked Logan back up and threw him to Cody Rhodes. Cody hit the crossroads. Logan's body folded like an accordion. But Cody didn't pin him either. He dragged Logan up and launched him towards CM Punk. Punk hoisted Logan onto his shoulders. GTS. Go to sleep. Logan's head snapped back violently. He collapsed. But it still wasn't over. The Usos picked up Logan's lifeless body. 1D. The double-team superkick connected with such force that Logan flipped in midair before crashing to the mat. The crowd was in shock. This wasn't wrestling anymore. This was a public execution. This was 4 of the most dangerous men in WWE sending a message to anyone who would ever dare disrespect this business again. But they still weren't done. Roman Reigns grabbed a microphone, standing over Logan Paul's broken body. This is what happens when you disrespect the tribal chief. This is what happens when you disrespect this business. You wanted to be in our world, Logan? Welcome to hell. Roman handed the microphone to Cody Rhodes. My father used to say, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Logan, you're not even close to being a man. You're a child playing a game you don't understand. And now you've been taught a lesson you'll never forget. Cody passed the microphone to CM Punk. Punk knelt down next to Logan's beaten body, grabbed his face, and forced him to look into his eyes. I've ended bigger careers than yours, kid. I've destroyed people with more talent, more heart, more respect than you'll ever have. You're nothing. You're nobody. And after tonight, the world will remember you as the fool who flew too close to the sun and got burned. Punk dropped the microphone and the Usos stood tall, raising their ones in the air, the symbol of the Bloodline's dominance. The entire WWE universe was on their feet. Some fans were cheering the absolute destruction they just witnessed. Others were in shock, hands over their mouths, unable to process the brutality. Medical personnel rushed to the ring. EMTs loaded Logan Paul onto a stretcher. His face was a mask of pain and humiliation. His influencer persona was shattered. His ego was obliterated. As they wheeled him up the ramp, the crowd started a chant that echoed through the entire arena, "You deserved it. Clap 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 clap, you deserved it." #hashtag the aftermath that shook the wrestling world. The next morning, social media was in absolute chaos. Logan Paul destroyed was trending #1 worldwide on Twitter. Over 500 million impressions. Videos of the beatdown were going viral across every platform. ESPN covered it. TMZ covered it. Even mainstream news outlets were talking about what happened. Logan Paul himself posted from a hospital bed, his face bruised, his body bandaged. The caption simply read,